Okay. Lighting. Oh, okay. That's dope. What else could I do on here? Shit. Hmm. No, I like to relax. Yeah, there we go. What's up, no filter? Shadow pit in the building. Well, well, well. Batata 56. Buenas noches. What's up, Palmetto? Good to see you, man. Got my old duels tonight. Yep, yep, yep. Let me scoot this stuff over so I can kick my feet up right here in the living room. Puta madre. There we go. Ray C. Orale, I see you. What's up, number 7? Good to see you. What's up with this? Oh, it's turned off. The devil. What's up, brother? I send mine to you and yours as well. Good to see you. Area Apparel. Question. What's up? Shoot, let's hear it. I just broke open a case of Colombian whites. What's up, Torta Pounder? Good to see you, homie. I appreciate the thumbs up. Yeah. Make sure you double tap the screen. Just like that. That's all you got to do if you're watching on a mobile device. What you guys been up to today, man? I've had a long day. A long day. That's why it makes sobriety great again. I hear that. Omar and Naya. That's a good one. I'm about to put that on a shirt. Why does it feel like there's a filter? Hold on. Let me see. Is that better? It's weird. Oh, I think, okay. I don't know. It is what it is. What's up, Junior R? Saludos, MZP. So this morning, right? So I'm a little low energy at the moment. Uh, this is actually kind of late for me. Got the notification about a minute ago. That's dope. That's dope. What's up, Eli? Good to see you, homie. Um, so this morning, right? I wake up. That face still look kind of fresh, huh? Yeah, man. Yeah. If you're in the heights and you need a barber, let me know. I got the spot for you. I got the spot for you. I appreciate that, Junior R. Um, so Brittany calls, right? That's one of the big kids. For those that ain't been around, although most of you guys been around. Uh, my lady's kids, we call the big kids because they're a little bit older, right? And my kids are the little kids because they're younger. Um, what's up, 831? Good to see you. Scotty Johnson in the building. Robert Calton. Hey, I want a big avatar woman to sit on my crippled legs. Maybe lift up the tail and bellow it. Oh, that's a whole lot right there. Uh, you don't know, man. That's a lot. Hello from North Korea. That's dope. So I didn't get a new dog. I might have a new dog at some point in the future. So this is what happens, right? Uh, this morning, uh, do the silly salmon. Boy, these vertical lives be bringing the characters. So, I know, good lord. So this morning, what's up, Joseph Jones? We get a phone call, right, from Brittany. Love her to death, man. And she's like, hey, I sent you a picture, right? She calls my lady, right? She calls her mom. And she's like, what are you doing? And we had just woke up, right? We had a rough night, didn't sleep too well, whatever, you know. Mile High Hustle, salute, man. The champ is in the building. I see you, bro. No, in the casa. So she's like, look at the picture, look at the picture. So I look, and it's a Facebook post from the SPCA, whatever, the pound, you know. And it's of this poodle, right? It's a cute picture, you know. Um, and and so she's like, I need this dog. right? It's at the Pound in Reno, and I need it. It was just adopted out, um, Mexico style, no ice. What's up, DJ Cino Evil? Good to see you, man. Hey, if you guys like people that play music, if you like to turn on YouTube and listen to a DJ spin some records, I strongly encourage you, man. Subscribe to DJ Cino Evil. Um, an excellent channel. He's an excellent dude, stand up guy. I have an interview with him on my channel under the interview tab, right? Interviews or combos, whatever it's called. That playlist. Um, he's on there. Remarkable story, incredibly inspiring individual, and a professional DJ. Man, he taught himself to DJ after he went blind, like no bullshit. And he's incredibly talented. He got the whole setup, all that. And and so yeah, if you guys like to listen to people play music, man, there's no better spot. DJ See No Evil and the G Lu Show are the two premier music channels on YouTube. Uh, so so for real, I strongly suggest you tap in those channels. And he plays all kinds of stuff. And if you're in the valley, right? If you're in kind of the 209 area, and you need a DJ for your event, uh, he he is probably available and will pull up and put on a hell of a show, man. Alex Bonilla, Semas. What's up, GS? I see you, big homie. Uh, Clover 28. I see you, bro. It's been a while. Compa does it does happen to mention your channel. And from what I see, it seems like it's pretty firme. Hey, gracias, Eli. I appreciate that, man. And thank you for your generosity. Thank you. It's a great channel for truckers. Yeah. Yeah, Jesus, you know who it is. Did I scare you into going live? Yeah, bro. I didn't want to get DP'd. Uh, what do you think about black people music? I'm not sure what black people music is, but I do like some music that is done by black people. Uh, Braxton, what's up, man? That's Louisiana homie right there. Is it okay for active Southerner to be hanging out with prison gang rats and dropouts at the rat's daughter's birthday party? Area apparel. I'm not in a position to dictate what other people do. Um, Especially, sir, I've never been in a position to dictate what Southerners do, right? Uh, I I think that that could be hazardous for somebody's health, though, right? If if you're active and you're in the mix and you are hanging out in person with people that are undesirable to what you say you're a part of, uh, then yeah, that could be used against you by people that don't like you. Um, so again, not my place to say what's okay or what's not okay. That's not my lifestyle, uh, but I can see how that could be hazardous to one's health. Chicken head in the building. That's right. Good to see you. AKA DJ Can't Sit Shit. Thank you. That's right. Mudville Hitman. What's up, homie? I like that name. Uh, what's up, Bog Bog? What's up, Skelly Boy? Saying, oh, hey, Alex Bonilla. Shout out Honduras. That's right. Brian Cardenas. Good to see you, homie. Lexus Grant. LA Dodger Blue. Jazz is black music. Um, yeah, I mean they're the pioneers of it for sure, right? All right, Peter Malcolm, Jamal Warner, Ozzy Osbourne, and oh, Phil Collins is in hospice. That's sad. Hulk Hogan died too, man. Uh, are you from Louisiana? I am not. Nope, I am not. I think the North gonna hold it down now that all their generals are in the feds now. Well, depending on who you ask, all the generals been in the feds since since Black Widow. They Leo 77, man. I don't know. They'll figure it out. You know, they'll figure it out. Uh, what's the word, local? Been a minute. Tap it in real quick. What's up, Spider Man? Good to see you, homie. I hope all is well with you and your family, man. Yeah, off top, area pal. That was a legit question, homie. Did you ever meet anyone in prison who was at Johnny Cash's show at San Quentin? Laugh out loud. Johnny Cash's show, I believe, was at Folsom, and my grandfather was there. but I don't know about a show that he did at San Quentin. Uh, but my grandfather was there when Johnny Cash did his show. Uh, Solid dad or false? I don't know. Hulk Hogan, greatest of all time. Yeah, man. Can you speak on Casper from Capitol Park? I keep hearing little blips on different channels, but we were sellies in the hall like 3 different times. Just curious. Casper from Capitol Park, St. Hall. Nope. No, I got nothing to add to that conversation. If you're from the '80s, Polk Mania for life. Yes, Hulkamania. What did happen to Mudville? Mudville. So I'll tell you what I think happened to Mudville, right? Um, he that that dude got a job. He got a good job, really helping the community, and able to leave a mark on folks in his community, and helping them to advance, helping others move in excellence. And and so I think that really occupied his time, and he's investing his energy in that, and so I think that's why the social media stuff kind of faded away a little bit for him. But hopefully it comes back around at some point. But I'm impressed by the work that he does. You know, uh, John Cena in his 70s. Is he? Bay 510 Bay. Good to see you. Disco El Monopolo. Post it up. I'd like to know what that means too. I'm foundational Black American. Please do explain the stance. 9:20 p.m. Thursday night, San Francisco, California. That's right. It's good to hear. Good to hear, Spider. Snoop's Uncut. Hey, man, what's going on, bro? Yeah, yeah, I'm back on the social medias. You guys do me a favor, man. Tap that like button. We got 50 people watching, 18 people liking. Yeah, I love freedom too. I love freedom too, man. Hogan was decent, also low key and evil soul since he was a white president. Others aren't going to mention that, but I would have. Hogan also gave his life to Christ, man, in his later years. So I don't know him personally, and I don't know a whole lot about his story. Um, so I can't say one way or the other. I'm not saying that you're wrong. Um, I can't agree though either because I don't have that information. And there are certainly, plenty of people who claim to be Bible believing Christians that are also pieces of shit in real life. So that's not like some magic wand. Uh, but uh, but yeah, I don't know. Is there any substance to Corny Pink and a couple other heavy hitters being moved out of the ADX to USPs? Big Moose. It is possible. It is possible. I haven't heard those rumors, to be honest. Um, so, so I'm not sure, but I could see, um, I could see Corny and Pinky, um, getting sent to a USP. Sure. Uh, I don't think it's likely for Skip. You know, I mean, I could see Corny getting moved out there before Skip, right? Uh, just because of in prison activities, right? Skip's been caught up in some reindeer games in the feds that's been very highly publicized. So I'm not giving no inside scoop. People made videos about it. So, um, and not to say that Skip will never get out of ADX either, but I can see Corny and Pinky getting out of there before him. And the feds work a little different, you know. They don't really do the indeterminate sue type stuff that California used to. You know, being a prison gang member is not a barrier to being in the general population in the feds. They kind of pride themselves on that, in fact. So there are people that are in ADX that are never getting out of ADX. Chapo comes to mind. Uh, but I don't think Corny and Pinky are necessarily on that level. They may be, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not. And the feds got some juggling to do. they got all these dudes from Quiet Storm, and where they gonna put them? Uh, who knows? Who knows? But they have like a step down program, from my understanding. And I'm not very well versed on the feds. I've never done any Fed time. For those of you guys tuning in that aren't familiar, I did time in the California Department of Corrections from 1996 until December 2005, so basically 2006. Um, I was a Northerner, I was a Norteño, I was validated as a Nuestra Raza Northern Structure Prison Gang member, and I paroled um, from the SHU program, right, from the Pelican Bay SHU, back when there was such a thing, and uh, and came home and decided that I was going to do my best to not go back to prison, and so I am not a gang member. Uh, I didn't turn on nobody. I didn't tell nobody. I didn't do no coward shit. I just came home and thought I'd give it a shot, and maybe I can stay out of jail. I did a lot of juvenile time. I never went to YA, and now this December will be 20 years that I've been out of prison. Um, so I've worked on federal cases. I've worked on RICO indictments before, for defense. I only work for defense attorneys. Uh, People like to twist that up. I've only ever worked for defense attorneys and for immigration attorneys. Uh, but so I've never been to the feds. Um, but my understanding is that they do have basically like a step down program where you're in ADX and you're in isolation, for a period of time, years normally. And then, wait, hold on, this fucking cat. Uh, uh, Danielle, who's another one of the big kids, moved in with her cat. And so the cat occasionally likes to jump on the counter, and that is highly unacceptable. It's pretty unacceptable to have a cat here, period. But, just kids, what are you going to do? That's why these blackout curtains are up here, too, because she works graveyards. And so I'm sitting on her bed right now, which is my couch. Uh, Attorney life is complicated. But so then there's a step down program where you start to go out to a yard, like a mini yard. For those of you familiar with the California Department of Corrections back in the days, think of like the shoe yards in Corcoran. There is the cat making a cameo. Um, um, and and you go out there, but you go out there with your own people, and if you go out there for a while and you're fine, your people don't blast you, you don't blast anybody else, um, then that is a step towards you being able to get released to the USPs. And the USPs are the highest security level general populations, if you will, uh, in the federal system. So I can see them going out there, but I don't even know if they're in the step down program right now. Hey, baby. Yeah, I just started like 18 minutes ago. I just started like 18 minutes ago. Uh, let's see. People feel like jail and prison is cool. Fuck that bullshit. I love McDonald's and food and pussy. Man, I hear you, bro. I'm gonna say I love McDonald's. Um, but that first sentence is absolutely right. And the second one, fuck that shit. Did you ever read that book, Blood in the Fields, about Mondo and Tibbs? I think I did, by Julia Reynolds. Absolutely. I used to read her articles when she was a reporter before she wrote that book. Uh, she wrote all kinds of articles in the Californian. I think was the main one she did. Um, and then I found out later that she got married to Johnny Angel Martinez, Night Owl from Selena. I was like, what? It's crazy. And I know Night Owl. When he came from YA, he came to our yard. Um, and so, then he got out and got on drugs and told on himself for a murder that he didn't even commit. And some JCat shit, man. But but yeah. But salute to him. Salute to Johnny Angel, man. Uh, he did what he felt was best, apparently. Um, and yeah. What area are you from? I'm from San Francisco, California, homie. Uh, I have not lived there in many, many years. But I'm from San Francisco, but I've been all through the Bay. Um, and so spent a lot of time on a peninsula, especially, and then went to the East Bay, Contra Costa County, when I was like 16. That's where I was at when I caught my case for attempted murder at 19. I paroled back to that same area and stayed out there for like a year. And then I went to East Palo Alto, lived in East Palo Alto for a handful of years. Moved to Florida for a minute, came back, moved to Concord. Um, by then I had 3 kids that were starting to go to school. Uh, Moved out to Elk Grove because of the school district out there, and it was affordable. So stayed in Elk Grove for some years, got divorced, went through a little midlife crisis, um, and now I split my time between there and the Reno area, which is where my lady's at, and that's where I'm at now. As a matter of fact, um, hold on, let me catch up with these comments. I be lagging on the comments. Snoop fell off. That I thought they would go live no more. Snoop's dope. I was born in 1979. People die every day. Life goes on. That's facts. That's facts. So uh, I was 2 years old when you was born. Did you hear about the guy who was hit by a can of soda? He was lucky it was a soft drink. Andrew K. Mac, that's dope. Uh, what kind of shoes do frogs wear? Big Gibbs, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Braxton, it was somewhere she said some years. She also gave his life to a meaningless ideology, but all that was on his soul and conscience, which is his own problem. He was a decent wrestler. Yeah, I wouldn't call it meaningless ideology, but we could agree to disagree on that. It's a trip to the original family reality show Patriarchs Dead in the Same Week. Yeah? About metal, after a lot, I was actually thinking going live maybe after Rask is done. I'm not going to be on here long, bro. I'm not going to be on here long. Uh, in regards to Jay's video on Big Rome, he said Joe Jeff is the only carnal to get on a track besides Grattan. That's not true. But Mondo Quinn literally has a whole rap song out. Yes. There is a Hayward guy. Oh. Hey, I see pictures of that dude in the feds with dude dookie braids and shit. Oh my god. I can't. Don't do this to me, Farmetto. So, you could get me in trouble. All Grandpa Skip wants is a bowl of menudo. That's right. Uh, I can't read languages besides English and Spanish. What's up, Fort Creeks? I said mine, bro. Good to see you. Palmetto, dicho pues. I'm gonna get a bottle right quick. Ooh-wee. I'm doing pretty good, Big Gibbs. I just had a long day, man. Quiet Storm guys, Arizona bound if they want to keep breathing. uh, do they have runbacks? I how do I answer that? Let me take a sip of my old duels. Uh, I don't know anything for sure, but I would say some do and some don't. Some do and some don't. Um, and I think there's some that ain't even gonna try. I think there's some that are only still hanging out because they know that they're hanging out with people that ain't gonna do nothing to them. But I think if they're faced with the prospect of integrating with people that have been in the Fed since before Quiet Storm, I think they're gonna change their mind about their standing. Um, but I don't. I would expect some of them to make it if they're willing to try. You know, that's a test in itself. You know, thankfully I've never been in a position to go out to a yard and have to wonder like, am I clear or are they gonna get me? Um, Now, don't get me wrong. I've been nervous going out to the yard. Every time I went to AdSec, I've been to AdSec every prison I've been in, right? At least once. Well, not Corcoran because I was in the SHU, and not Pelican Bay because I was in the SHU. So those don't count. And not Quentin in Reception Center, even though I did a removal there. But I was in the AdSec on my way out of Pelican Bay. So Anywhere that I was on the main line, I was also in ad seg. Like I said, at least once. And I was always nervous going out to that ad seg yard. Not because I was concerned that I had done something wrong. I just didn't know exactly who was out there necessarily. And you just never know, right? You just never know. Politics can get ugly. And anybody who tells you that they were never concerned a day in prison either wasn't politicking or they're lying to you. Um, but I've never been in a situation like I'm on freeze and you got to go out to the yard and it's a question, right? Like, are you getting cleared? Are you getting cleanup? Are they going to whack you? Like, that's got to be a different level of stress. And I have known people who have checked in when if they wouldn't have checked in, they would have been okay. Um, and I have known people who did not check in, and so they got because they didn't check in. You know, it's a different layer of stress. So we'll see who tries to make it. Um, I was locked up in Santa Rita, Alameda County 5 years ago, and I hate it. Yeah, I've never been to Alameda County, but I have heard about it, and I would hate to be locked up anywhere right now. What's up, Grumpy Lokes? I've been pretty good, man. Do you think you're a good influence on our youth? Actually, I know that I have been a good influence on our youth. Uh, I've hired young people. I've helped young people go to college. I have helped young people that are incarcerated uh, make better life decisions and not continue to be incarcerated. I have housed young people. Um, so today and for the last 20 years, absolutely, I have been a good influence on the youth. So no, no need to even really think about it. Thank you, Bay. Wondering who you're talking to. Oh, that's probably old comment from when my lady popped in. What's good, Brody? Who's that? Jose Gambino. Good to see you. Hey, I see you called last night, but I was in the middle of a live, and then when I got off the live, kind of time got away from me, man. But I'm gonna hit you back. Uh, let's see. Salas in la casa. That's right. Shout out to Salas. Why do they call you? Nobody called me that. Um, that is a derogatory term for Southsiders. But over here, people are welcome to represent where they're from, but you are not welcome to disrespect people because they're from somewhere different. We don't do that over here. Rask, have you read Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins? I don't think so. I don't think so. What's up, Big Pete? Shout out to the homies from Posada. I see you, my boy. That's right. Uh, do you know Night Out, aka Wormy from Santa Rosa 707, Barrio Santa Rosa Norte? I don't think so. Jose Gambino, I don't think so. Yeah, bro, laugh out loud. Night Out's sister worked with my sister. I remember when his mom got whacked. Yeah, yeah, that was a rough situation. Update on Mohawk Mac. Oh, that's coming in the video. That's coming in the video. Gonna be in Elk Grove next month. Come with me to a men's conference? Absolutely. Big Gibbs for sure. Yeah, hit me up offline. Um, yeah, hell yeah. I respect all what you do, but all this Trump BS got me kind of questioning you. I say more ice, because legal is legal. Yeah, we're not going to agree on that. Should I take Salma Hayek to civil court? She essayed me. I told her no. I told her don't. I told her stop. I told her hold those words in a sentence. No, don't say that. What's that? And tapping in. What's up with you, homie? Hang out. Keep pushing that dope content. Appreciate that. Play at your own risk. Are you a motherfucking gangster? Me? I am not. Hell no. Gangsters go to prison or get killed. What's up, Mora Inc? Good to see you. I appreciate that, Greeks. Are the BGF still active within CDCR? You know, I've been thinking about doing that video. The BGF are no longer considered a prison gang in the California Department of Corrections. So, are there Jamas still around? For sure, right? Jama became the preferred term for them right around time Kumi became the preferred term for 4 and 5. But so are they still around? Yeah, and still respected. I think most of them, you know. But yeah, things are a little different. What do you think about the Niners this season? I hope CMC makes a comeback. So do I. So do I. I hope old boy that got shot in the chest, uh, gets healthy. Pearsall, there you go, Ricky Pearsall. Um, but I'm looking forward to it. Crazy. I hope they don't get action. R.P. Marjorie Taylor Greene. She died. Man, the meanest ideology was him exposing his hidden hatred against black people when mentioning his daughter dating a black guy. That's what. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. Um, Bad calls happen all the time. That's facts. I knew a homie that was on freeze for 1 whole year on level 3. Damn. See, and that's ridiculous. Shouldn't nobody be on freeze for a year, bro? Figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Uh, from the older gang members you've come across throughout the years, would you say the majority conduct themselves like you, or are more and more older dudes trying to chase clout like the youngsters? Um, Honestly, in my experience, for the people that I know that I did time with, or that did time in the same era that as me that are out now, that I talk to and hang out with and stuff, I think they're much more like me. And it sounds kind of awkward for me to say that because I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or suggest that I'm the example of how people should act. But if that's the comparison, right? Of um, if that's the two choices, right? Chasing clout or being a little more, I don't think level headed maybe. The ones that I know and I've been around more level headed. I do see via social media. I do see some people that are around my age that are goofy, and just to be honest, they the shit looks goofy to me. Um, and I'm thinking particularly of some people from Northern California because that tends to be the group that I'm more critical of. Um, but I could say the same for some people from Southern California too. But I kick it and talk to Southsiders and Sureños even, that that did time around the same time as me or whatever, that are not out there trying to be tough guys and chasing clout or anything either. So um, yeah, the folks I'm familiar with, I think are more similar to me than they are, you know, Bozo and BFD. You hear about Attica and New York Greenhaven and Clinton Corrections. I'm familiar. I've heard about those places. I haven't heard about any news out of them lately, though. Annihilator TV. That's a dope name. I see what you did there. Annihilator TV. Salute to the east side. Uh, there you go. Spider knows, Wormy. Spider been around, man. You guys don't know. There's, these days, how does anxiety hit you, Josh? I got into some shit at work a few months ago. Got laid off and rehired for the county. It's just a trip, but the anxiety afterwards was different from younger days. Yeah, Pantera. I'm gonna work that into a mental health Monday. Um, but yeah, that's it's a good topic. Um, well, you know what you've heard of my infamous, also Gerald Winston from VSRN. At least not the best person to represent my city, but he's still the homie. What's up, Lolly? Flames Trotter. That's another dope name. Got paperwork on Chad Marks. Good lord. Yeah, we're not gonna agree on that. I'm used to that. I'm gonna use that. Yeah, I'm gonna be dropping a huge rap review of my area, focusing on the Brown and allies in hopes of gaining them more traction and also to put bad rappers on blast for the nonsense they spit. Coming soon, gente. Well, there you go. Subscribe to Four Creeks' channel and stay tuned for some dope content. Much respect, brother. I'm gonna be dipping out for the time being, bro. Look forward to more content. Off top, homie. Off top, I appreciate you. Thank you. I thought you were Mark Wahlberg. No, if I was, 1090 Jake would not just be sending me goofy DMs trying to show me scratches on the side of his face after my video, but he'd be trying to do content with me. Riverside County tapping in. Shout out Riverside County. Rascal, we need Bozo's paperwork, also Mohawk Mats. Where do they do the time at? Gracias. I would look forward to seeing it. It will be there, Big Miguel. It will be there. Um, Lolly, yeah, I had the Heineken Zero last night, and I actually was craving some chocolate, and so I went by and and got uh, these little caramellos. Um, but I finished my last Heineken Zero, and so I seen the old dudes, and I was like, man, I ain't had an old dudes in a minute. July 31st is gonna be 10-year anniversary of Hot Rod Rowdy Piper's death. Really? Is that right? 10 years, huh? Uh, Rowdy Piper? Rowdy Piper? Is that how they said it? Uh, just say it, Rascal. You meant be. I thought I were Nate Diaz. One day, hope to sit down with you. One day, I met Hector Bravo when he was in Elk Grove. That possible? Yeah, it's possible. Play at your own risk. I was gonna go link up with him. I thought he went to Galt, but uh, I was gonna go link up with him, and because he had told me about it, but then he didn't remind me, to be honest. But also, I was out here in Nevada that day, um, because I didn't have my kids, and um, so it didn't work. Soy de Rancho, compa. That's right. Shout out to the Rancho. Spider, the Japanese hombre for the town. How's life going? It's Jess. Can you call me sometime to catch up on things? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Release the Epstein files. Just have a real beer, my brother. No. No, see, because once I drink one, then I need another one, then I'm going to get a bottle, then it's all downhill from there. I hate wearing glasses. My girlfriend said I look like a man who changed his life while in prison. I have to remind her that I've never done time, and that's an oddly specific description. That is an oddly specific description. So, so my brother, right, Kevin, who I did a video about the other day, and I knew I was gonna get a phone call, and I haven't heard from him in a while, and so that was part of the motivation of doing the video. And then he called me, and there's some parts of the video I wasn't a big fan of. Uh, I'll do a video about that tomorrow. But what you're saying now reminds me, he got glasses while he was in prison on that 6-year term, right, on his first term. And so he was walking down the street, and mind you, he's a big ass dude, right? He's very distinct look, and he's walking down the street. He's like, "You didn't recognize me because I had my glasses on." And he had a real complex about his glasses when he first got them. Like, people think I'm soft because of glasses. People think like, but it was all in his head. And I was like, first of all, like I'm not gonna recognize you all of a sudden because you have glasses. Like, okay, Clark Kent, right? Um, but he had a real complex about it. I need glasses. I've had glasses before. They broke. I haven't gotten new ones. Uh, is it raining there? Dumping in Auburn. No, let me see. It looked like it was gonna rain. It smelled like it was gonna rain, but I don't think. But I'm in Reno right now. But nope, it ain't raining. Windy as shit though. Windy as shit, but it's not raining. I wouldn't be surprised if it rains a little bit later. Yeah, Hulk, Ozzy Osbourne, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Shout out Colorado, San Luis Valley. That's right. Good night, y'all. I was glad to see you back on the ground. I'll text you tomorrow. Yeah, please do, Big Gibbs. Please do. What's up, Crowley? Good to see you, homie. Shout out from London. That's right. Salute to London. Hey, Rascal, I could do the high and tight. I was the barber of the man. I don't cut hair with a razor blade and a comb. I learned that from Salamander from Selena, the San Quentin Alpha Section 205. Uh, Not Selena. Selena's got you. So I had a celly from Lodi, right? David. David from Lodi, and I called him Grandpa. Right? I called him Grandpa, and he called me Bridge because I got a big old bridge in San Francisco across my chest, and so I called him Grandpa. And we were in Salinas Valley, and I was messing with him, and I told him, I'm gonna call you Grandpa on paper, right? The next time I send a roster back to AdSync, I'm gonna put you down as Grandpa. You better fucking not, Bridge. You better not. All these years I've been in it, I don't have a fucking nickname. It's David. And so I put his name on a roster as David Grandpa. I think his last name was Lopez, I think. I don't remember. But whatever it was, um, I put his name as Grandpa. And so some homies came from the 180 side, and he introduced himself as David from Lodi, right on the yard. And they were like, "Oh, what's up, Grandpa?" Because they had seen, right? He was mad as a motherfucker. Oh, he was pissed. He was pissed. He couldn't do shit about it, but he was pissed. But what you're saying right now reminds me of him because we were on lockdown for a long time, as often happened on level 4 yards back there. And we were removing a lot of people, right? A lot of people. Like to the point that the Southsiders got at me in the kitchen. I was like, damn, you fools are crazy. Like you're barely got 10 homeboys on the yard, and every time I come off lockdown, you're whacking somebody. And and I was like, "Why you guys planning on doing something that I should know about?" But they and this before end of hostilities, but they still have cordial, respectful conversation. And then when it's time to get off, we just try to kill each other. But it was all business. There was still respect there, and he would cut hair with just a little bic, one blade razor and a comb, but do a dope ass haircut. I mean, he wasn't doing phase shit, but yeah, fool hooked me up with a haircut. I was like, man, that's some old school Pinto shit right there. Like, you's a real convict, Grandpa. Reno barely rains in Nevada. Yeah, not too often lately. I lived in Fallon for 2 years. Okay, got my first STD in Nevada. The summer rain is crazy. The last time it rained out here, it was like 90 during the day. And then all of a sudden it started raining, but it felt good. What's up, Blockfather? Yes, please put a green light on the like button. Day of 209. What's up, Manuel Ramirez? Good to see you. Don't pat my chin. I appreciate that. You speak Spanish. I do, but not as well as I used to, because I don't use it that often. Ooh, hold on. Motherfucker's trying to interrupt my live. Call me when I'm live. um, but anyways, let me tell you about this dog. Now that I made it through all these fucking comments, right? It's been raining here in the valley daily. Nice weather, not too hot. There you go. So, I appreciate that, Rhodes. So, anyways, Brittany calls this morning, right? Me and my lady sitting out front, drinking our coffee, smoking on frau. And she's all excited, right? And that's her sometimes. That's everybody sometimes. Like, she's juiced. She's she's amped up, ready to go. But she's at work. See that dog? I need that dog. I need that dog. Uh, her son, right? One of the grandsons, he has a lot of allergies. He's had a lot of allergies his whole life. And poodles have hair, not fur. So people that are allergic to like dog hair and pet hair and the dander, there's a word for you, the dander that comes from their skin. Um, they tend not to be allergic to dogs that have hair as opposed to fur. Poodles are one of those dogs. That's a cute looking dog. It's like, man, I need this dog. I need this dog. Will you, uh, we go to Reno and get the dog for me from the pound? And we're like, what the fuck? My lady's like, man, I'm drinking my coffee. Like, that means I got to get up, get dressed. I was like, man, I'm about to do a video. You know what I mean? And it's inconvenient, right? It's inconvenient. And, but sometimes your kids ask you to do things that's inconvenient. As a parent, you still do it. So we're like, fine, we'll go. And then she calls back. And she goes, no, wait, never mind. Her friend, actually a relative, but I'm just going to say friend to keep it simple, right? Her friend lives closer to the pound. And she's going to go get the dog from the pound. We just need to meet her. right? So can we meet her at USA Parkway and get the dog? So then we got to call her and do all this stuff, right? So she goes to the pound, right? Mind you, Brittany got a full house, right? She got a full house. She works 12-hour shifts, which turns into like really 14-hour days, right? And but she really wants this dog. So we're like, okay, we'll go meet. So the friend goes to the pound. The pound is like, look, man, we just adopted this dog out to a lady, and she brought him back like the next day. Said that he's untrainable, right? But it was an older lady, and dog's like 4 years old. Do you have kids? And the friend made the mistake of being honest. And like, yeah, there's two boys. Like she acted like the household was going to be Brittany's household, right? And Brittany got sons, and so the people at the pound were like, well, we need to meet. Uh, all right, day or two, and I appreciate you. Good luck at the gaming. And so they're like, we need to meet, all the people that are going to be in the house. We don't know if the dog's cool with kids. So you got to bring the kids. Well, obviously she can't bring the kids, and it's a lot. So it goes back to us having to go get the dog. So we got to drive out there and then go to the pound and act like we're the ones getting the dog. And we're both very familiar with dogs. I know how to train dogs. I've had dogs, and my ladies had dogs, and so we go in there. We're looking at the dogs, but we've gone through some L's lately, right? You guys have been around know that I had Blue the pit bull. We lost him in a very unfortunate situation, right? And then we had Bebe, right? The little micro nano bully, whatever the fuck it was called. Looked like a tiny ass pocket sized Rottweiler. But we had Bebe for a little bit, um, and intended on keeping her, and then they, they took her back, right? And so that really kind of broke my lady's heart. So we ain't kind of like cooled off dogs right now, you know? Um, but we go walking around in the pound looking at the dogs. We get the poodle out. Poodle's pretty dope. Its name was Cotton Ball, which is a stupid fucking name. And it's too long. You can't have a two-word name for a dog. They're never going to learn their name. And so go through the whole adoption process, pay a little $80 or whatnot. And bring the dog back to the house and started teaching him to sit. He basically learned how to sit. Yeah, poodles are incredibly smart dogs. Uh, and this dog is no exception. Dope ass dog. But that was like an all day event, right? And then we got home and just had to sit out front with the dog because Danielle's inside sleeping because she worked graveyard last night and she works tonight. She has the fucking cat running around. We don't know if the dog's cool with cats, but this place ain't that big, and so uh, just had to sit outside in the hot ass sun with the dog for a few hours. Took him for a walk, that kind of stuff. And then Brittany comes and gets the dog, and so she's at the store buying all kinds of stuff for her. But we'll see. Uh, she had gotten a dog from Blue's litter, right? The same litter that Blue was in. Um, she had gotten one of those dogs, and it was just a lot, too much to handle with her work schedule and everything else, and so she gave him up pretty quick. And there's a bit of concern that it might be a lot for her to handle this dog because of her work schedule. She's at work a lot, and the kids are going back to school soon, and the dogs are really smart, but they need a lot of attention. Um, so we'll see. But she's super excited and hoping that it works out well. Well for her and for the grandkids, and it'd be cool to have a dog in the family, right? Like, we'll go over there and walk them, kick it with them, and that kind of stuff. Um, I like animals. They're just not quite ready to go there myself. Our life is pretty busy. I'm back and forth in Nevada to California. My lady comes with me to California a lot when I go out there. Um, we're getting ready to move. The Nevada spot, we're going to a bigger spot. There's just a lot of moving parts, and that's not the best time to introduce an animal, especially a rescue that's already been through a lot and needs some stability. So we'll see how it goes, man. But that was my thing all day, so that's why I didn't get a video out today. I was gonna do a video about taking down the video about my brother. You know, because he called me last night. Uh, he wasn't too thrilled to be on YouTube. Not everybody wants to be talked about on YouTube. Um, and I kind of went against my own policy with that. And there was a few reasons for it. And one was that I hoped that we would get in touch. And it worked. Uh, so he called me, and like I said, he wasn't too thrilled in the beginning of the conversation. But we wound up talking for like an hour. Um, and yeah, I'm going to keep praying for him. That's what it comes down to. What's up, NJB? What up, Hugh? YouTube was peak when Flocka was all tweaked out making diss tracks. Hey, Rascal, Trump is on the lista, homie. He needs to go SNY. No good. What's up, Rondo? What else did I miss up here? Solo for Christ Ministry and Outdoors. Crowley, that's the question my kids had for me about the things I got into, and I can't say anything I ever got into was personal. It was always some other person's BS I was dealing with. Yeah, yeah. I went to prison for shooting somebody that really didn't offend me. Um, they punked somebody else, but they punked the homie. Can't let you punk the homie because what's that make me look like? So, yeah, should have made a better decision on that one. It's a trip out of summer. Hasn't been too hot yet, and we're already almost in August, at least here in Cali. Yeah, yeah, it hasn't been crazy bad. Hasn't been crazy. We got over 100 a little bit here and there, but it wasn't too bad. Patrick Wing Pee Wee, brother. Get a cockapoo. Poodles hella smarts. They are. Checked out the Africanos Bam Bam channel out. Um, the Africano Bam Bam. Is that the dude that did time in the feds? Little Hefe One, good to see you. Is that the one that did Fed time? He did some videos about being around skipping them. If so, I saw those videos and I thought I subscribed to his channel, but I haven't seen anything that, more recent from him. So, then there was a dude, OG Bam, that was always begging for fucking beer money. That dude I don't pay attention to. Bebe was cool. Bebe was cool. Oh. And Bebe was in good shape over here. Any stories where a Southsider murked a chavala? Uh, Define chavala. Chico, California, in the building. But I took a bunch of young folks from East Palo Alto up to Chico. They got accepted in the school up there. That was a trip. So I told them, stay away from the white girls, bro. My Doberman is 2 years old, so I'm not really expecting him to be gone anytime soon. But whenever that day comes, I don't know if I can recover from it. It's crazy the emotions dogs can bring out of you. Yeah, Pete. Yeah. Yeah, and I hope in a perfect world you'd never have to experience, a day without a man. I get it. I've had a lot of animals in my life, right? A lot of pets, dogs, cats, you name it. Shit, when we were in Florida, we had ferrets and all kinds of shit. I didn't really get attached to them. That was just novelty shit. But fishes, I really want a fish tank. I had a fish tank for a while, and I would just sit and trip out on it. Like it would calm me. I don't know if that's weird, but I would just sit and look at the fish tank and just watch them. It was I think it was a freshwater tank because I didn't have to do like a whole bunch of measuring and pH and putting stuff in and whatever. Um, but we had like they had convict fish. The convict fish was dope. Uh, I had all kinds of different little fish. I just go to the fish store and buy hella fish, and they were all compatible. Some of them were at the bottom, some were in the middle, some were at the top. They'd fight with each other here and there. Had a couple little sharks in there. Um, every now and then you wake up in the morning and one of the fish got a chunk missing out of his tail. Sometimes a fish is chewed up, laying on the thing. You gotta scoop it out. But I just liked watching them swim around. I don't know. It was kind of therapeutic for me. Um, but there have been a couple dogs in my life that I've gotten very, very attached to. Um, Blue is definitely one of them. You know, and we got robbed. You know, we got robbed when it comes to him. Uh, he had many years left. How do you deal with a brother who always disrespects you? Um, I mean, I think there's banter and button pushing that happens among siblings, but it if your brother's you gotta call him out on it. If he's always disrespecting you, I think at some point you gotta put your foot down. You know, and that looks different for different people. You know, maybe he needs to get socked in the mouth. I'm not advocating violence, but your siblings, right? So uh, maybe just needs to cut him loose for a little bit, right? And at the end of the day, you have to protect your peace, protect your sanity. You know, it's one thing to sacrifice for your family, and that's noble to a degree. But everything has its limits, and nobody's entitled to disrespect you. That's my opinion, at least. Uh, Somebody may offend you, just like you offend other people. I'm sure that's normal. That's a part of being in community. Uh, but if it's just blatant disrespect and it's over and over, and if it's not working for you, then change the situation. After my last dog, I can't get another one. Yeah, I hear that. Oh no, 209 was cracking. Let's see. All right, play at your own risk. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here probably in about 5 minutes. Yeah, Trump's having some issues. My son wants a dog. Between work and school and living in a trailer, I can't get him one. One day for sure. I always have pits and he wants one. Yeah, it's hard, man. You know, pits are a lot of work too. They're super smart, but they need attention. You know, and obviously different peoples have different temperaments. You know, and they're different sizes and stuff. The thing that, like, I would love another people. Like, Blue was really the perfect dog, perfect fucking dog. Um, he shed a lot because he was mostly white. That was annoying, but that's a minor price to pay for the joy that he brought. Um, like that was my dude, man. That was, you know, that was my friend. Um, what I learned with him in his last episode though is they're always going to be in the wrong. You know, if something happens, they're always going to be wrong, and no matter how right they are, um, and they will pay the price, and you will pay the price for them being a pit bull. Um, and like Nevada's a very dog friendly state. They're a pit bull friendly state, you know, and and yet, you know, had to put them down. It's just if he was any other breed dog, I don't think he would have met the demise that he did. And I just can't go through that again. You know, it, that hurt too much. Um, I can't. It one day when I got a bunch of land, you know, and I don't have no neighbors, um, and I don't have to worry about anybody else coming on my property uninvited. Um, then I'll get another one, you know, probably. Uh, but you know, he was the antithesis to the stereotype of a pit bull. He wasn't violent. He wasn't aggressive. He loved kids. He was cool with other dogs. He was like, he was a gentle dog. He was big and he was strong and he could fucking eat you alive if he wanted to. But the thought never crossed his mind. Uh, but people that weren't supposed to be here came here, and he was still very reserved. You know, uh, if he wanted to do damage, he could have done damage, and he didn't. Uh, but it didn't matter, and I just I can't do that again. People keep their business and kids now. What is up with that? Poor people, man. I'm Michael Francesco's doing it. Yeah, I can skip right so that's dope. Salute Brasco. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan, for real. Fish tanks a lot to keep up with. Yeah, the one we had wasn't too bad. Yeah, I like the big ones. I like the big ones where I could put a bunch of fish in there and just kind of watch them chill. How do you know when to put them down? Um, when they're in pain. When they're in pain and they don't have a quality of life. I feel like a lot of people let dogs live longer than they should. You know, um, because they're being selfish. They don't want to let go. You know, your dog is old. It's fucking blind. It can't walk, and you just don't want to put him down. And of course, the vet's going to say, "Oh, he's not in pain. She's not in pain." Would you want to live if you couldn't see, and you had one tooth, and you, you know, one leg wasn't working, and you had seizures? Like, I don't know. It's a very personal decision for everybody to make. Um, I have relatives who have pets, and they let their pets live too long, in my opinion. You know, like, man, put that animal down already. They're miserable. And good night, Monsieur. Gotta go to Monterey Bay and trip out on the sea otters. Oh, I've done that many times, Pantera. I've done that. San Francisco too with the sea lions. Uh, they're loud as fuck. Dogs are the dopest. Convict overpopulated. Do they? Alpha's got all the rest. I have seen Mario Sanchez. Yes, I have. Fisher be doing removals. They do. They do. You say sub Jay never mentioned he was a shot caller. Then the difference that dummy Mario on Vlad TV says he was. Now Runner makes a video mentioning him again. Yeah, I think Mario Sanchez is full of shit. Uh, and and as I get my reaction channel going, it's gonna be specifically for people like Mohawk Matt and Mario Sanchez and Bozo and the rest of these guys. The new Mortal Kombat. You know, my lady's been wanting to go to the movies. She's been on that hype for a while, right? I want to go to the movies. I want to go to the movies. We were gonna go the other day, and then she was like, "There ain't no good movies." Um, so I don't know. I could see bringing the grandkids to go watch the Mortal Kombat movie. I don't know that I would go see it unless somebody else told me that it was like a really good movie, like good storyline and stuff. Uh, so I don't know. Our 20-year-old Pitt lived a young, active life to the day he passed a couple months ago. Man, it's sad. Yeah. Are you a Norteño dropout? No, I am not. Nope. Just not a gang member anymore, homie. Uh, but I did not drop out. I did not debrief. Uh, was active for all my time in prison, and I was well within my rights to come home and not be in the mix. And I chose that. Uh, Things are a little different now. I got out of prison 20 years ago, uh, and did things the quote unquote right way. Anyone else noticed the mosquitoes been crazy this year? I fucking hate mosquitoes. I'm elevating fatherhood. That's tougher than taking orders from another man. Man, facts. Bitch are great dogs if raised right. Yeah, yeah. Man, when I had to put my dog down, it was the worst. I can't go through that again. Yeah, lifestyles, I hear you. It's hard, man. I've had to do it a few times. Um, I had to do it a few times. And It is rough. It is rough. The Fantastic Four trailer looks interesting. I think I'm gonna go see that. Okay. You guys let me know, man. If you guys watch movies that are in the theaters and are good movies, make sure you let me know. Uh, and yeah, I might go check them out. Like I said, man, my lady's been wanting to go to the movies. You just gotta find something worth going to the theaters over. Bicycle chooses his kids, absolutely. Still elevates, and I'm almost 20 telling you this, and I'm gonna rock with this channel. That's right. I got a 15-year-old American bully boy and a 5-year-old American pit bull girl. I can't imagine losing it, giving them, yeah. Favorite cologne? Bro, try Versace Dylan Blue. It's a banger for the summer. If not, go Penguin Premium Blend Batch number 2. It's way cheaper and man, to spray more, but it's a summer banger. You know what? I'm gonna screenshot that comment. My lady got me some stuff. Um, I think she got it for me. Yeah, yep, she paid for it. Um, wait, hold on, drop here to open. No, cancel that. I'm trying to show. Okay. Um, so it's a trip. I had this cologne. What was it called? I use that shit every day, right? And it must have been like 3, 4 years. My lady didn't say nothing. And then I was looking at colognes at the store, and she was like, "Yeah, you need a new one because I don't like the one that you have." I've been wearing it for years. I thought she liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. She's like, "No, I don't really like it." Why did you say something a long ass time ago? And she bought me some. I think it's called Black and Blue. Uh, we were at Big R, right? So Big R is like a Western kind of store, right? Like it's I don't know Western store. It's like a country store. You can buy chickens there, chicks. You can dog food. That's why I used to go in there for Blue's Food, right? It's a feed store. Um, but then they got, Dickies and cowboy boots and little knick-knack country shit, right? Because that's where I live in Nevada. I'm out in the country. But they had these colognes, and and I think it was called Black and Blue that I got. I'd never heard of it before. It smells dope though. But I like to switch it up, different colognes, and so I'm gonna keep that in mind. Um, my son Junior, right? Uh, he's one of the big kids. Um, he did. My lady's kids are the big kids. My kids are little kids. Junior's mine, but he's older. This I got custody of him when he was a teenager. Um, and he's in his 30s now. Super proud of that dude. We want to talk about transition, like from a gangbang East Palo Alto hitter to father to two beautiful little girls and hardworking man that handles his business. Um, could not be more proud of that guy. But he uh, he ran across some plug, some youngster. I don't know. He always be chopping it up with people. Uh, and so I'm waiting. There's supposed to be some cologne dropped off to my house, and it's something that's supposed to be super expensive for the big bottles, and he got it for the low. So I don't know. I don't remember the name of it, but it's something popular. It's the shit that everybody be talking about. What's up, Corco? Animals are family. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I appreciate that, 209er. Thank you. I would snort hella blow off Sydney Sweeney's butt crack. Real talk. Orale. That's incredibly descriptive there. Disco. I lost my favorite pit too, yeah. Humble in the chat. We love Rascal. Show them man respect. Off top, I appreciate you. You said that yesterday about Snow the product. Hey, Snow's dope. Snow the product is dope. My boy's struggling with joint pain currently. He gets tired and it's hard for him to stand after a while. But he's a little shit and still barks at kids. Yeah, Blue started having some little hip stuff too. He started having some hip issues. You could see when he would get up, right? He would get up and be kind of like Gotta stretch it kind of upward. Would you fuck out of here? Um, I like cats, but only if they're my cat. I don't have any cats. Let's see. Scroll through these real quick. He's all right. He just tried to walk over here on this little end table and knock everything down just for attention. Let's see. Can I have a shout out? Shout out to you, Emmy. 80s horror is the best genre. High budget, low budget. 80s horror is always the go-to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna watch Return of the Living Dead when I get out. My lady don't like scary movies. I think scary movies are romantic, right? Because the girl gets all scared and then she wants to jump in your lap and then, I mean, that's romantic, right? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. What up, Lou? Cool water was a shit back in the days. Cool water, Dracar. I got a bottle of Dracar. I think it smells different. That's pretty old. I don't think it smells the same. Um, but cool water, Dracar. I got some Versace in it. The Versace Black. Or is it Kenneth Cole Black? Maybe it's the Kenneth Cole Black. Um, that's pretty good. Um, yeah. Now it's just using the leather footstool as a scratching post. That's not awesome. Versace Eros Flame is a good cologne. And also, do not sleep on the roll-on oils they sell at the mall. That reminds me of the Muslim oil. So in prison, we called it the Muslim oil, right? Because the Muslims was the only one that could sell it. And that shit would smell good. And then when I went to the mall, they got the little vials with the thing. I was like, this is the Muslim oil. Great topic, the last video you did on 2-in-1 Hit. I appreciate that. Asked the lady for sure, yup. I'm headed to the horse races in Del Mar this weekend. San Diego. Gonna have too many drinks and end up self-deporting to TJ. It's true, but the flashlight is something totally different. It's like oh yeah. Not the Anchor Blue. So Jojo AZ, good to see you. I wear natural musk. The ladies love it. That's right. Not with the Jinkos. Those are the tagger pants. The Asians and the taggers, which a lot of the Asians wear taggers, but they was rocking the shit out of those Jinkos. The movie with Stormy Daniels is a great movie to listen to. Women love body odor, homie. Here you go. That's the new hustle. Colognes, designer belts, and wallets. I know it's weird, huh? Did you see Chongo's interview? I did. I did. In fact, he texted me and asked me if I was going to do a reaction. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to react to it. Um, I got a lot of love for Chongo. I do. I consider him a really good friend, for a lot of different reasons. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the reaction would be. You know, uh, it seems like there's going to be more segments to that. Um, Not a big fan of Mundo. I don't hate the dude. I don't even dislike him. I don't know him. Um, but I'm not real big on promoting his content. You know, I don't. And so, kind of puts me in a little bit of a bind. And I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait and see what other segments there are and what other stuff they talk about. Um, it was a good conversation that they had. Um, I just don't see anything in that snippet that there is for me to react to. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Yeah, it's kind of wearing on my nerves. Lightweight. Valentino, huh? Okay. English leather and the Christmas stocking as a kid. Will you ever interview Renee Boxer? No, I don't think so. Ernesto Ruiz. Who's your favorite wrestler? Oh, that's rough. So I'm definitely a WWF guy. I'm not a WWE guy, right? I liked uh, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, right? Uh, so we used to sneak into the Cow Palace. I grew up where I'm from in San Francisco. I'm not from the Mission District. Where I'm from in San Francisco, you could walk to the Cow Palace, right? The Cow Palace used to host a lot of WWF stuff. That's a very easy place to sneak into. Um, and so I snuck in there multiple times to see WWF events. I was in there when uh, some of you guys might remember, but they started doing like rap videos. Different WWF wrestlers would do rap videos, and the dude that had the bird, it was a black dude that had like a fucking parrot or something. Um, Kokomo, Kokomo, I think was his name, something like that. It wasn't one of my favorite wrestlers, but I remember they were shooting his video that day during the event, and they have to keep stopping and restarting. He had his song, his rap song, and it took him a bunch of time stopping, starting. The crowd started booing and shit. There was also a time, I think it might have been that same event where Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Jake the Snake Roberts went at it, and Jake the Snake has a snake. Actually, I think Ricky was fighting somebody else, and then Jake the Snake came and ran in, right? And Jake the Snake had that boa constrictor in his bag, and he would drop it on people. But Ricky the Dragon had that fucking Komodo dragon, and I thought the dragon was cool as shit. I was like, that dragon's gonna tear that snake up. So I like Ricky the Dragon. Um, I thought the Ultimate Warrior was kind of cool, but he was a little too high energy for me. Um, but but he was cool, right? He was different. Um, uh, Hulk Hogan was dope, but Hulk Hogan was like the OG of WWF. Who else? Gotta remember all those guys. The Iron Sheik, George the Animal Steel, right? The dude that would eat the turnbuckles and shit. He was hilarious. I love George the Animal Steel. Um, he reminds me of Fast Ass Dave reminds me of him. Uh, Not the Hugo Boss. I never had the Nautica, but the Boss I have. What's up, Jay? Good to see you. Well, homie, what I was asking with the North being more black Asian, someone was saying with the North moving into the Bay Area that it's now more black Asian. Has the North really got that much of the Bay? Um, no, the North is. I mean, it's still mostly brown. It's not. Um, there's not a lot of black Northerners. There's not a lot of Asian Northerners. It's. Um, there's a lot of Northerners in the Bay Area, but see, the Bay is more. A lot of them dudes is more about money. There's not a lot of. There's a lot of violence in the Bay Area, but the violence is over women and bad drug deals. You know, um, it's not so much over territory anymore. Everybody got their hood. Everybody's hood's established. Um, there is still some gang violence, right? The Mission District still get into it sometimes. Um, Hayward, they get into it sometimes. Uh, so it exists, but a lot of dudes in the Bay, like this younger generation, they're just trying to get paid, and so, um, and there's not so much people outside. That's one thing I noticed that's a lot different from when I was young. When I was young, we were all outside, always. Um, People aren't outside like that anymore. You don't see a bunch of dudes posted up on a corner. Like, you see it in videos, uh, but that's just in the videos. You drive down that same street when they're not shooting a rap video, and you ain't gonna see all them fucking people out there. Um, and even when they got all them people out there, it's people from 10 different cities. you know. Uh, I don't know, gangbanging was kind of dying out, in the Bay Area for a while. Uh, and I almost feel like some of this rap music is bringing a bit of a resurgence to it, to tell you the truth. Uh, but, but no, I wouldn't say that. Do the reactions is probably counting on, yeah. Drink some pisto, like, no, I'm not drink. This is my pisto, or duels. Yeah. I'll be honest, man. Like, I tune into Gunner and Dubs' lives. There's times though when they're drinking that I gotta turn it off because it gets tempting, right? Like, shit, I want to go grab a drink, and it's just not good for me, uh, for many reasons. The old polo in a dark green bottle. I remember I got this Africana Cougar just by simply smelling good. Honestly, it's the best compliment. Yeah, your preferred stock. I mean, don't you appreciate your old lady's body odors? That musk cologne is 2025. It shouldn't have to be said that women have armpit hair, body odor, etc. I mean, yeah, but I'm cool off the armpit hair. Like, that's what I got razors. Damn, yeah, you're right. Fuck it. Mundo is irritating. According to Mundo, he was invincible. And the MA never took any losses. If anyone got hit, oh, they weren't made. Yeah, that's the classic MA line, right? It's, uh, uh, right. But I agree with you, Farmeto. I'm off on Mundo too. That passed the wife from Boxer Enriquez is fire. Also, hey, bro, you ever thought of bringing back Mental Health Mondays? Mental Health Mondays will be back on Monday, as a matter of fact. Yes. Yeah, I just barely started getting back on YouTube, like, not this past Monday, but the Monday before. And so yes, I very much plan on doing a Mental Health Monday. And I'm always open to suggestions on topics when it comes to that, too. Uh, Ricky was my all-time favorite. Yeah, Ricky was dope. I can't stand ladies wearing perfume any more strong or sweet smells irritating, give me headaches. Rascal used to dress up like gold dust. What are they? Coco Beware. That was probably his name, huh? Yeah, that was. Snuck into the cow paws for the rodeo and motocross. Oh, yeah, they had a lot of rodeos there, too. A lot of country concerts. Uh, there you go. So you guys know Coco Beware. Unpopular opinion. Mundo's the one that hacked Boxer as a way to get out the business deal he made with him. Remember when Papa Shango became a pimp? Papa Shango? I do not remember that. Jake the Snake was tweaking. Hella documentaries about it. Was he? That's wild. I believe it, though. He was a good wood, brother. Yes. Hulk Hogan was. The Killer Bees. I'll be 80 years old still watching pro wrestling with family members. That old WWF was dope, man. It was dope. What about Raven? Wasn't that a TV show? What about Raven? What about little black girl? Shane McMahon was a badass wrestler. The McMahons were thick in that shit. Raves at the Cow Palace on Halloween were the shit. Never went to a rave at the Cow Palace. I wasn't into raves. The only rave I went to prior to going to prison was the Berkeley Marina. And we went there because we were security for the nitrous guy. I didn't know what nitrous was. Um, but these fools that would bring the big old nitrous tanks with the balloons, which I think is what these kids in LA are doing now, which is crazy because that shit, they were doing that at raves in 95, right? But the nitrous guys would go to the raves and everybody knew they had money because they're getting cash for those balloons, right? Whatever they were, like $5 a pop or whatever. Um, so I don't know how, but one of the homeboys got linked up with them and they paid him to be security. He went to a rave, but I had a homeboy that DJ'd raves. He comes in here sometimes. Chad or Snowman. I forget what his name is, his handle, but he was a DJ and he would DJ raves. Him and the homeboy Moreno, right? And Chad was a dope DJ, still is a dope DJ. Um, and so somehow somebody got linked up with the fucking nitrous people, and I think because it was just gang members over there, and it wasn't normal to see gang members at raves, right? And we dressed like gang members because we were gang members. We That's the only way we knew how to dress. Uh, and so got the plug to be security for those dudes. And so I went to a rave uh, in the Berkeley Marina for that reason, and it was a trip. It was very weird, very fucking weird. Uh, About to put on a Darkroom Familia movie. What classic teen recommend? To tell you the truth, I have not seen a single Darkroom Familia movie. Saw the movie Colors the other day, and it's honestly getting hard to watch because it's so cheesy. But I know for its time, it was different and raw for people. It was. It was. But Colors led to gangbanging in some communities. Those are low key fire, but comical also. No energy drink today. No, not today. I'm trying to go to bed. I'm just here because. Hold on, this damn cat. On, get out. It has water and it has food. I don't know why it keeps getting on the counter. Like I'm completely at a loss. Oh, hold on. Oh shit. The caramel came out. Hold on. Caramel. Is it this water up here? I'm trying to figure out what is interesting the cat on the counter so much. Normally she just gets up there when she doesn't have any water. She has plenty. But no, no energy drink tonight. My cousin from San Francisco, 24th Dimension, they lifers now though. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of them brothers are. For real, growing up in soccer, you knew who was from where just by looking at them. Now you can't tell. That's real. What the fuck hyenas he got? I stopped drinking since going to school. I focus on working out, eating good, hitting weights. That's good. That's good, Chicano Sports. Hood Slam is cracking. Live action wrestling next Friday at the Continental Club in Oakland on 12. Okay. LMT, Los Monkeys 13 out of Brentwood. I got some stories. Um, if that's the LMT you're talking about. Uh, I have beef with them before. I give it to LMT. They at a time when a lot of upstaters were only gang members when they had hella people with them. Otherwise, they were brown pride. Like we have to check pockets for people, right? But LMT has some shooters. Them dudes will shoot. Um, and yeah, they had a few interactions with them. Did anyone do the Hogan leg drop in prison? No, I never saw anybody do the Hogan leg drop. Uh, More fire. Trying to stop smoking blacks is hard. Yeah, you know that's how I got started smoking cigarettes when I got out of prison because I had stopped smoking. Right. When I left prison, I mean when I left prison, um, when I left the main line, you were still able to smoke. They had taken away the lighters and they put like little cigarette lighters on the yard, on the light poles, but you could still get tobacco. So they were phasing it out. But you couldn't smoke at AdSec. And so when I got validated, obviously I stopped smoking. Um, I had one cigarette for all those years, and that's when I was in the Corcoran shoe, and we got a clavo of tobacco. And Marceli Carlitos Rosano gave me this whole lecture about smoking a cigarette, why it wasn't a good idea. And I listened to him because I was a big homie, for real, for real. And I was like, man, you make a lot of good points, bro. Uh, and I'm gonna twist this up and smoke the cigarette right here at the vent real quick, okay? He was like, fucking rascal. He didn't say fucking, he didn't cuss that much yet, um, but I came home and I got some black and miles. Next thing I know, I'm smoking like, they come in what, packs of five, I think. I was smoking like 2 packs a day. I was like, somebody's supposed to smoke cigarettes. Downhill from there. Godfather makes a cameo on Breaks Live, so every now and then. Huh. Jake the Snake's dad was his grandpa. Ooh-wee. Raven was a guy that used to cry all the time. He would say, what about me? What about Raven? I don't, for some reason, I don't remember that. What it do, I'm new, but I've been listening in and it's real. I appreciate that. Luis Antonio Aguilar, Melissa's King. They don't even do a medical grade these days. Is Frisco as bad as FHWG? Is that as bad as they say it is? Um, in some ways, yeah, yeah. I, I, I would love to say otherwise, but you could not pay me to live in San Francisco. Um, the San Francisco of the '80s was different. Um, it was a family environment, right? It was a family community. It was violent, crack hit the scene. I lived in the projects, or just outside the project. But I mean, I lived in the hood, right? And Geneva Towers was outside my window. Some of you old school Bay Area cats know about that. So it was rough, but I loved it. I loved it, and it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot, not just with the homeless and the zombies, but the techies, the yuppies. There's no there's no real culture to San Francisco anymore. Now it's like a mockery. Um, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I mean, there's cool stuff to see, but yeah, it's just not the same. It's just not the same. I was going to Club Hollywood and Baker's in 2002 with balloons in both hands getting fucked up. I went to a rave once, definitely weird, yeah. But not if I got to dodge dolphins or stepping in human feces. So that's only in certain areas, right? The touristy spots, Pier 39, Fisherman's Wharf. But even a lot of that's just not the same. I mean, I haven't been out to those areas in a while, um, like years. Um, yeah, if you want to go see the bridge, right, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Bay Bridge too is pretty dope. But people like to go see the Golden Gate Bridge, Coit Tower, Lombard Street. Um, the observatory is pretty cool. Like I said, Fisherman's Wharf, Pier 39. Uh, but yeah, it's just not the same. You can go through the Mission District. Um, they still got a lot of the murals and that kind of stuff, but it's not the same people. You know, uh, it's the weird thing about these techies. They like the Mission District. They wanted to go there because of the culture. Oh, it's ethnic and it's vibrant, and but then they don't like the culture. They don't like the music. They don't like the stores putting tables on the sidewalk. They don't like the quinces and the parties. They don't like the street fairs. Like, damn fool, you want to move here because of the culture, but then when the culture's inconvenient, you don't fucking like it, and they get all that shit shut down. So I'd say if you're gonna go to the city, go for an event like uh, they still got parades and shit in the Mission District. Um, Carnival is pretty cool and tends to not be very violent until nighttime. Nighttime it gets violent, right? But during the day it's family friendly and it's dope. You know, um, so go out there for something, and then break away and go check out the little touristy spots if you want to. Uh, that would be my recommendation. A Niner game looks like a rave. Mr. Criminal Live, he dropped new merch. A pic of himself, Kobe, Nipsey on a t-shirt. Are you serious? You gotta be a fool. Himself, Kobe, and Nipsey? Eagles fan, but no disrespect. No, none taken, Neil Locke. It's all love, man. Charles Gas, man. But what's up, Antonio Diaz? Good to see you. Hey, we would go to the cow pass the next day for the gun shows. Yeah, I don't even think they have gun shows there anymore. But yeah, they used to have them all the time. What's up, Nikki Lynn? Yeah, I'm holding on. What's your best advice for YouTube channel? Stay consistent. So, if I would have been consistent, I started my channel like probably 4 years ago, like 3, 4 years ago, something like that. But if you look at how many videos I have uploaded, there's channels that have been out 6 months that got more videos uploaded than me. I take breaks, man, either because of health issues or my life gets hectic or it starts having a negative impact on my mental health sometimes. Um, that's why I don't do the back and forth with channels and stuff. I'll point out people's bullshit, for people that are looking for attention. I'll pay attention and then tell you what I think. But the type of beefing that was happening a couple years ago with just channels going at each other and ganging up against this guy or that guy, and that shit really turned me off from YouTube, you know. And that's nobody's fault but my own. I participated in it, but so I don't get into that shit now. And I know that some people want me to, and why don't you this and why don't you that? Because I don't fucking feel like it. That's why I don't. Um, and it's a distraction, right? It distracts me from what I'm trying to do on here. But anyways, advice: stay consistent, uh, and don't let your audience change you. You know, um, you on one hand, there's a school of thought that says like, hey, if you drop a video and it gets a lot of views, then obviously that's what your audience wants to see. So drop another video like that, right? And that is a good business move. If you're in it just for the money, that's a great business move. And and I'm not saying that I don't watch things like that too, but there's a limit. Don't lose yourself in that process because you start chasing what a segment of your audience wants you to do, you can wind up pushing away a bigger audience. Um, or you can wind up turning around and looking at your catalog of content after a year and be like, damn, I haven't done what I set out to do. So it may mean less views. I do videos sometimes that I know are not going to get 5,000 views even, right? But it's important for me to do it. And the 2,000 people that watch it really get something out of it. And that's fine, and I'll do something that appeals to a wider audience maybe the next day. Uh, Also, though, and not to contradict that, but the flip side of that is you never really know what's going to hit. I've done some videos before that I really thought was going to appeal to a large audience, right? And it didn't. Fuck that thing go. Um, that I really thought, like, oh, this video's going to hit. And I'll put a ton of work into some videos. I did some Second Amendment videos and gun rights and that kind of stuff. Uh, that's like a constitutional law class in layman's terms, uh, and put a lot of work into it. And it didn't. I thought for sure people would watch it, right? How do felons get their gun rights back and all kinds of stuff? Ain't nobody watch that shit. I've done other videos uh, that I really didn't think a lot of people would watch, but I thought it was interesting, and it hit 50,000 views, 60,000 views. So And so you just never know. Um, so do what you're comfortable with. You know, make sure you could look yourself in the mirror every day and be proud of what you put out there, whether people watch it or not. But in terms of growing your channel, consistency, um, you know, learn your audience, right? Shorts. I don't do shorts hardly ever. It's an area that I want to get into, but I just don't do short form content. But shorts grows your numbers fast. YouTube really pushes shorts. It's forced content. You know, when somebody's done with a short, it automatically shows them another one. Um, and so people will stumble on your content that wouldn't never see it otherwise, and they might subscribe. So doing shorts is a good way to grow your channel and bring in new subscribers. But make sure your shorts are tied to what your long form content is. Uh, if you're even going to do long form content, some people have just shorts channels. There's different monetization uh, rules, you know, different thresholds you have to meet based on getting monetized through shorts or getting monetized through longer videos. I don't know exactly what those are now because it's been a while and it's changed. Um, and make sure you follow the guidelines, man. You know, getting strikes and that kind of shit will really hurt the growth of your channel. Getting them before you're monetized will really screw you over in your goal to get monetized. I I've never had a strike. You know, obviously common sense don't fall for the okey doke shit like buying subs or bots or any of that stuff. YouTube will catch you, and even if you don't think that they caught you, they caught you. Um, you know, don't steal other people's content, right? Just regular ethical shit, like kind of common sense, I would think, but a lot of people do it. When you do another cooking video, Niner Gang 81, I don't know, man. I don't know. We ain't been doing no cooking lately. Well, no, my lady cooked dinner last night. It has been a long time, Nikki Lynn. Currently at the In-N-Out drive-thru. There you go. You know what's low-key funny? Southsiders used to call Northerners farmers, but a lot of 805, like Oxnard or Baker's parents were farmers too. Yes, Chicano Sports TV. So, a little context to that, right? A lot of people had a mistaken belief that the the NFMS stuff was, or the MNF stuff, right? Because the MA was out first, obviously, was North and South. North and South didn't come till like 20 years later, bro. Geography didn't mean nothing. The farmer stuff was, the MA was a lot more dudes from LA, right? The city of Los Angeles. Not LA County necessarily, but the city of Los Angeles, the city of San Francisco, the city of Sacramento. They were from more urban areas where they gangbanged in the streets, right? They were from established barrios and they were gang members. And they viewed themselves as superior, more sophisticated gangsters, street savvy. Um, Whereas the NF dudes came from the areas that the MA tended to oppress. It wasn't Northern California farms, it was rural areas, period. Like Bakersfield, like Oxnard, right? Like just more rural areas. And so it wasn't North and South, it was urban versus rural. And that's where the farmers label came in. Um, and that came about before there was such thing as norteños or sureños. One thing I wanted to ask, sometimes dudes when they get out from prison, they got fat. Were you like that too? No, I didn't get fat. You don't get fat in Pelican Bay. No, you don't. I never saw any overweight people in the shoe program. Thank you, Neil. I appreciate that. So what kind of content you doing on your channel? I heard Texas fools are afraid of water now. I mean, it's crazy, bro. People still gonna vote Republican in those little counties, even though Republican politics killed their children. Literally, literally, as well. And I'm not a Democrat. I'm just saying in those areas. Why move to Nevada, not a place like Central Valle? Uh, So my lady is originally from California. We met when we were teenagers. Um, I had the hots for it, but she wasn't very interested in me. She liked older dudes, and I'm a year younger. So, but we were very, very, very close. Um, we just weren't in a relationship, but we were close. And then we re-linked up. Um, later when I first came home from prison, we re-linked up, but she was out here. She had moved to Nevada and built a life out here. Um, and I was on parole. I couldn't really travel like that. Like, it just didn't work out. I ran off and got married. She ran off and got married. Both of us got divorced, and we linked up, and we've been together since. But so she uh, she kind of built a life out here, even though she's from the Bay Area, and so that's why it's not random. It's all her kids live out here. She was living out here when we linked up. Uh, she came and moved to California with me for a while, and then I needed a break, and so we moved out here where her family was at. Um, but my kids are still in California, so I had to go back, and now we played it back and forth. Two 4x4 doubles, oh, for reals, huh? And the animal fries. Dudes gets fast from all those sodium-filled foods like noodles and shit. Probably. I'm from Kentucky, and what you talk about is interesting. Okay, shout out to Kentucky. Your arteries must hate you. What's up, the RZA? Good to see you. GS is back. Yo, no, homies, my arteries love me. Need more fools in SF. I went from 215 to 185, and I've stayed at 165 now for the last 5 years, right? What's crippin', bro? Okay. I saw a vid in about 10 minutes from water rose up. It just, yeah, man. That was catastrophic. But they had warnings. The National Weather Service had said that it was going to happen, but um, but they weren't listening. They weren't listening. The alarm system that the community had been asking for years and had been denied as not being essential, like the flood was not preventable, of course, right? Nobody prevents nature, but the catastrophic loss of life was absolutely preventable. Probably still some people would have died, but there was no reason for 100 plus kids to die. There's this guy that does videos where he walks around the Bay Area cities. Yeah, I've seen some of those. Did you see my little homie Changuito did a vid with Mundo? I did. I did. Yeah, Chango sent it to me. Coming in super fast from Salinas, California. That's right. Shout out to Salas. I'm grateful you're live. I can't sleep. Okay, Dickie Lee. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. I meant to only stay on an hour. It's now been an hour and 47 minutes. It'd be like that sometimes. Josh, what did you prefer, tops or buglers? Bugler. Bugler off top. Tops was if you couldn't afford bugler. You were smoking top when you was on lockdown and all the bugler ran out. You might remember Raven as Scotty Flamingo or Johnny Bully, a jobber for the most part. Scotty Flamingo sounds kind of familiar. I gotta try the clam chowder in Frisco. Oh yeah, get it in a bread bowl. Hell yeah. It's just fire. I'm thinking of moving up north, specifically to Sacramento. Went up to run the marathon last year and loved it. It's weird. Sac is a super green place with beautiful scenery, trails, and opportunity. It is. Sacramento's a very outdoors area. Um, it's I like it. Whatever outside of the ocean, although you do have water, right? There's water there, but you can find just about whatever you're looking for in Sacramento. And you're a day road trip away from whatever, right? You could be in Tahoe in a couple hours, so you can go to the snow, but it doesn't actually snow there. But you can go up into the mountains. If, if you wanted to get to the beach, you can do that. Take you a couple hours, depending on what beach you want to go to. But if you wanted to get to the ocean, it's a day trip. Um, a lot of good food in Sacramento. Um, I don't make it to a lot of the restaurants and stuff, but it's part of the draw. to the area is the whole farm to fork thing and everything. Sacramento's big on that. There's a lot of like culture type stuff, arts type stuff, fairs and carnivals and festivals. Um, it's there's some good fishing spots in the cuts, uh, and yeah, it's there. You're right. There's a lot of trails. Um, there's some good school districts. There's some affordable living, depending on where you're coming from. But like coming from the Bay Area, Sacramento's affordable. Um, if you're coming from Tulare County, Sacramento's kind of expensive, right? So it's all relative, but uh, it's I would suggest avoiding the hood in Sacramento. There's a lot of violence right now. Um, the streets are deadly, uh, but they're deadly for people that are in the streets. You don't get a lot of random violence in Sacramento. Uh, you don't get a lot of like you ain't getting robbed just walking down the street in Sacramento. You know, not that it never happens, but greater odds of that happening in Oakland than in Sacramento. Um, Greater odds of your car getting broken into in San Francisco than in Sacramento. Like it's not bad, man. It's not bad. I never liked Sacramento before. Like I know some cool people from Sacramento, met some cool homeboys from Sac in prison and stuff. I didn't like Sacramento because my little brother was killed out there, um, and so I didn't like it because of that reason. But coming to Elk Grove years ago and being in the area for the first handful of years I was there, I was still in the Bay Area a lot, right? I was working in the Bay Area when I first moved to Elk Grove. Um, then I was going to UC Berkeley, so I was in the Bay Area obviously for that. I didn't really connect with the community of Sacramento, and that's still true. Um, though I have some really really good friends out there, but I can still appreciate that it is a decent place to live. A lot of places in San Francisco closed down. That's true, but see, a lot of that is because San Francisco, there's a lot of office buildings, a lot of office space, and when the virus hit, nobody was going to work. Everybody was working from home. So all those businesses that depended on people going to eat at their lunch break or buying flowers after work and that kind of stuff, they lost their clientele because their clientele was the workforce that was in downtown San Francisco every day, in the financial district every day. And the virus stopped all that from happening. And so that's why those businesses didn't rebound. Other people will have you believe it's because of crime and because of stealing and everything else. And there are some isolated cases of that. But for the most part, those places closed because they depended on foot traffic from office workers. And there was no more fucking office workers. I want to check out the Mission District and also see the Santana mural. Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. And there's still a lot of the murals out there. Um, I did a live. It's still up on my channel of walking through the Mission District, uh, and you can see some of the murals in that live. That was a few years ago. In fact, I had taken one of the big kids to the doctors, and so while she was at the doctors, I just walked around the Mission District. It was live. Um, so if you look under my lives, you'll see it. Yeah, the new 49ers stadium's in Santa Clara. And it's nice, but I don't like it because I'm a Candlestick fan. I grew up going to Candlestick for the Niners and the Giants. And the new Giant Stadium's dope. I've been there several times. It's not new, I guess, anymore, but Packville Park or 3Com Park, whatever the fuck they call it now. It's a dope ballpark. I ain't gonna lie. It really is. Uh, but the Niner Stadium, it's nice, but it's just a bullshit ass football experience. For one, it's too fucking hot. And depending on where you're sitting in the sun. And it gets way hotter there than it does in San Francisco. So it's just not fair for us city guys. Um, but also, you can't tailgate. You have to pay hella money in a special parking lot. Otherwise, you're parking in office building parking lots and gotta walk a fucking mile and still pay a fortune. Like, it's they built that San Francisco stadium to appeal to Silicon Valley and the tech folks, not to appeal to the blue collar 49er fans that built the fan base of that team when they were in San Francisco. That's how gentrification begins. Uh, a lot of people are trying to say about SAC, as in it's just not the biz. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're looking for, man. But if if you're an adult and you're just looking for an adult place to be, like, if you want to pop in nightlife and hit the club all the time, I don't know. I mean, Sacramento got some clubs, but it's probably not like San Jose is probably better, to hit the clubs every night than Sacramento is. I've never been a hit the clubs every night kind of person. Um, but San Jose's been known for their clubs ever since I was young, right? And the fucking disco ducks running around. Uh, but like what you're talking about, trails and you know going to the lake and like scenery and just you know adult good time type stuff. Um, I don't know. I think Sacramento's pretty cool. Fisherman's Wharf be cool. I'm in the city right now. Tenderloin turned out for show. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We should drive up to SF and stay around Fisherman's Wharf. I miss the old days. Yeah, we lost who we are. Honestly, there's a few spots, but compared to back then, it's just sad. Chase Center for Steph with the three and a baseball stadium be cool. Yeah, yeah. I haven't been to the Chase Center, um, 49 game or even a fair. I need to go to SF before the techies ruin what's left. I mean, good luck. Sorry, fam. Niners are no go. I'm a fan of America's team. Oh, here we go. The Cowboys. This, my God, you guys. You know why the Cowboys so popular? Because these sports stations keep hiring people from the Cowboys that pump up their team all the time. And you got goofballs like Skip Bayless. C Dub facts, bro. I used to go as a kid with the family. It was always fun. It's a damn shame. I used to love running the streets of San Jose. Tech bros forever changed the landscape of the city. Are you doing a video on Mario Sanchez? I will, DX. I will. Uh, yeah, probably some point next week. I'm waiting to see the rest of his interview on Vlad, but I'm not going to pay for a membership to watch it. I paid for a membership for Vlad TV for 1 month, and that was to see Big Tone's interview and Rico Too Smooth's interview. I think it was Big Tone and Rico. It might have been Rico and Lazy Boy. But I paid to listen to those interviews, and then I ended my subscription. I don't even like that shit. My dad went to Mission High. He said it's not the same. He talks about Kezar Stadium a lot. Poor dad, he a Niner fan. I never went to Kezar Stadium, but but all my relatives did. Did you know Mario Sanchez growing up? He around your age from SF. No, Mario Sanchez is from the Richmond district, and he's the only gang member to ever come out of that community in the history of San Francisco. Josh, you know Sonny LG from down south today? He said he rocks with the channel when I asked him who he follows. Flowers. Yeah. Yeah, Sonny Streets ain't loyal, Sonny? Yeah, but that's my homeboy. I got a lot of love and respect for that dude. Uh, yeah, Sonny's good people. I think calling out per bullshit is cool, but the whole back and forth reviews is just childish at the time. Facts. I follow this guy on IG who would document the crackheads in SF. It's crazy how open they are. I see the same shit here in Soho too. Yeah. We see that one dude, they had that goofball from the Tenderloin that was walking around the Tenderloin and videotaping people. He was hella conservative, right? Super conservative dude that got out the feds and his ass is locked up now for doing all kinds of weird shit. More fire. Who you so mad at? Like, I'm letting you hang out just because I don't got the energy to hit the button and whack you. But Gasman's that YouTuber who was a scammer. He got arrested by the Fed. Yeah, see, that's the same one. I'm thinking of the same one. East Ridge, Oak Ridge, maybe Valley Fair, but Santana Row. Ironically enough, I literally was just at a live stream that was just like that. Any news on Two Scoops? No, I gotta. Matter of fact, I gotta talk to his wife tomorrow. Um, I tried to connect with her yesterday, and I was going to today, but then today got away from me. But I'm gonna talk to her tomorrow and see. Um, like my interview, it didn't get a lot of views, but meaningful. Yeah, yeah. You know, truthfully, none of my interviews really get a lot of views, which is crazy because I've had some great conversations with people. The conversation with you was powerful, man. Um, Conversation with Hoodie from the Hood, right? He has a channel too, uh, neighborhood crip out of San Diego. But we had a great conversation. A lot of relevance. Didn't get a lot of views. Um, I don't know. You know, I don't know. What's good, young Hitler? How you and the wife doing, man? Salute to both of you. My lady seen your name last night when we was on the live. I think it was last night. And she was like, Hitler, who's that? I was like, no, you don't understand. That's the homie. Uh, I'll peep out everything you drop. Some things I might move past after a minute. So yeah, yeah, it varies. Uh, uh, Crack never really hit San Jose hard. It was mostly the powder, pills, and crack. But yeah, that makes sense. Connecting. Ooh, I don't know why I disconnected. Add a second service for notifications like Discord or Telegram to post link to because YouTube doesn't always send them out. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get a Discord going. In fact, Kamai sent me a template for Discord, but I brought my computer over here from California. But we're in the process of moving. Right, my lady's in the process of moving, and you know, there's three people staying here full time. I make the fourth part time, in kind of a small two bedroom, right? So there's really not a space to set it up. We got boxes over here, and I thought there'd be a way to work it, and it just hasn't really worked out. Uh, and so something like that, I'd be more likely to do on my desktop. But I think what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna wrap this up. Uh, I'll scroll through the rest of these comments, but I think what I'm gonna do is Sunday, um, because Junior's gonna come by. He went to like North Dakota or some shit. He was like, bro, they're hella racist out here. They don't like Mexicans. Uh, I was like, fuck you thought was gonna happen. But he said weed's $10 a gram. I was like, oh, you burnt, fool, because he smokes like a train. Uh, he's gonna come by. I think Saturday. I think Sunday morning I'm gonna leave Reno because in the Heights, uh, in Sacramento, North Sacramento, my homeboy Nate Dog 916, who also has a channel. He doesn't post too much anymore, but not even just my homeboy, man. That's my really good friend. Like, it's like a brother, bro. I love that dude. His son, JoJo the barber, has been cutting hair for a while, and he just opened up his own shop. He's my son's favorite barber. He's the one that did my hair, the little fade. Um, the grand opening is Sunday afternoon, and so I think I'm gonna leave here Sunday morning. Go hit that up on the way home to to Elk Grove, and then I don't get my kids until Wednesday, so I'll set the computer back up and do some more in-depth content, uh, and I'll set up the Discord and stuff at the same time. I think that's what the plan is. I don't know. Memes help with shorts, yeah. I'll be getting views for my shorts. There you go. do speak Spanish. It's not as well as I used to. Jack Gunner said, Norteños or farmers? I don't know, man. When I was gangbanging, I never worked in the fields. My mom did, though. Hey, G, any suggestions for jobs in Reno for a homie with felonies? Yeah, depending on how old your felonies are, depending on what they are. Reno got a lot of warehouses, man. Look at USA Parkway, right? Which is not in Reno. I think Sparks technically. Um, but check off USA Parkway. There's a lot of warehouse work, and a lot of that shit pays pretty good. Um, Panasonic is over there. I don't think they really trip off backgrounds. I worked there. My felony's very old, but I worked at Panasonic. That's where I got hurt at. Um, I know another dude who was the head of maintenance over there making loot, and he was a felon. Um, I know a handful of people over there with felony records, and like I said, you get good money. It's 12-hour shifts, right? So it's a little bit different of a schedule. But there's other warehouses over there too. Uh, but yeah, that's where I would look. If you had a felony, I would look towards warehouse slash manufacturing type stuff. And you don't need to have any prior skills or anything else for that type of work. I never did warehouse work before, um, and I got on there no problem. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. I got blamed for stealing someone's content. Laugh a lot. I got no one to test it for me. Oh, that's some bullshit. Let me know. Why don't witches wear pants to get a better grip on bro? We just some farmers from up north. That's yeah. Apparently that's it. Street Bob. That's it. Now my cousin told me how much 501 hard jeans cost. Shit was $80. That's just mind boggling. Yeah, it's weird yet beneficial. People posting prison recipe videos because it's rough times, so it helps with saving money. But compared to real food, it doesn't hold up. It also glorifies the culture, sadly. Yeah, I don't do. So I don't generally like the spread videos that a lot of people do. Uh, Nate Dogg did a good one. Um, Dubs did a good one. Most of the people that I see that do spread videos, they must be from out of state or something because they include a bunch of shit that I never got access to in prison. Like I don't know what canteen these motherfuckers had, or what they were able to get in their packages. But I'm like, that's not a spread, bro. That's some noodles with some shit. Like they, uh, but I mean, I'll still make a spread. I'll still, you know, bust down some noodles in a can of tuna and season it up and stuff. But I agree with you. It kind of does glorify it a little bit. Uh, and then I heard that there's a content creator. This shit had me dying. But there was a content creator who posted on his channel a picture, I guess, of a receipt where he was out of town somewhere. I think he was in another state. And he went to a restaurant and he ordered SOS prison style. And the receipt apparently said SOS prison style because that's what he ordered. What's funny is this individual never even fucking been to prison. They've been to YA, but they stopped gangbanging when they were a teenager. Which props to them. That's not a diss. That's something people should be proud of. Smarter than me, at least at that age. And they ordered SOS prison style. I would be embarrassed to order that. I would be embarrassed to be at a table when somebody ordered that. Like, what the fuck you doing? Is so I don't like adding to that. I don't like giving people um, ammunition to do that. It's it's always the people that never done real time or never really been in the streets like that want everybody to think that they were. Whereas the people that have really lived that life want people to see them as somebody who wasn't. Like I don't want to walk down the street and have everybody look and be like, damn, that's an ex-convict right there. I'm, no, that's not a win. That's not a compliment. That doesn't make me feel cool. It embarrasses me. It makes me feel ashamed. Like, I don't, I don't get it, and so I don't like to do anything that feeds into that. I know what the fuck is this more fire guy, right? Fry up some liver and something with, oh hell no, I will die. Uh, I got a couple characters. Uh, the fatter fellas were quick. Shit was hella funny while they were doing the damn thing. What's up, Native Best? Good to see you, bro. You know what's funny? Splinter says you a punk. Let me give you some news, Jack Gunderson. Splinter and I are actually on good terms because we're grown men. Uh, Unfortunately, you can't say the same. But you ready for Hot August Nights in Reno? Very much so. Very much so. Yep. Yeah, if you come to Hot August Nights for Reno, man, tap in with me. I'll be out here. Uh, I want to start vlogging, but I want an old camcorder before I do. I've thought about vlogging. I've thought about it. Like, like it's something like Hot August. Mumbled that real quick. Something like Hot August Nights. I think it would be cool. But then I've recorded at car shows before. Like I went to a car show in Sacramento and recorded, and went to Little Cruise. But all the music. In fact, I went live from Hot August Nights last year. Pretty sure it was last year, and I went live from I think it was from GSR, because Hot August Nights now is spread out, different places. Um, and I think it's when I was at GSR, because we were over in Sparks too, but um, all the music, it started flagging it for being copyright. So it's kind of tricky. My pit is 12 years old now. She had a lump on her tail. We got her removed since it was a tumor. She's still active and happy, but old. She's not in pain, but I know the day is coming in a couple years. Yeah. Yeah, thankfully you caught it early and it was on her tail, you know? Um, Because, yeah, I'm sure she could bounce back good from that. I know some of Little Dora's family, yeah. Um, he got more ties in Daly City, but he has some ties to San Francisco too, but mostly Daly City. Uh, I'm a black man from the South, but I fuck with the content tough. I appreciate that, no heart mo. Why are you vaping? Helps me avoid smoking cigarettes. Gas mask, yeah. Yeah, I'd be down for that. For sure. If Yeah, if we had some kind of topic or something, um, I'd be down for that. Online poker, no. No. How old are you when you turn 21? Break time, huh? All right, I hope you're having a good one at work, man. I'm hop off here in a second. Uh, do you remember the natives in prison had their own little ceremonies on New York? Yes. A little hut for their son. Yep. Crazy. They let them build a fire back then. They still do. I don't know if they still do. I would assume they do. Um, but yeah, I do remember that. Uh, Absolutely. Well, and now, um, the whites, I don't know if it's true on all yards, but the woods have one of those little areas because the Odinist. Um, so when I was in prison, the whole Odinist thing wasn't so much a thing, right? But it's a lot more uh, prevalent now, and so at least on some yards, they have their own little like mini same thing, kind of like half fence, mini fenced off area on the yard for them to do their religious ceremonies. Um, they might have changed that after they killed that dude um, with a rock at one of those ceremonies. But yeah, I remember the natives doing their thing. Um, Shout out Canoga Park. That's right. Hey, do you know Weddle from Canoga Park? Also scandalous. Uh, he's got sued on his eyebrow. I don't remember which eyebrow. Yeah, I don't remember which one. Uh, but Canoga Park, look kind of short, stocky dude. Vaping is harm reduction. Yes. Mods went to sleep. Yeah, I know Chongo. That's my friend. Adrian Guerrero. Absolutely. Uh, what's up, Rascal? You think they will start locking down the brothers that are validated? I do. I do. Sam Bermudez. I think that's what they're working towards. Uh, I think that is what they're working towards. Okay, that's too much. Now you're doing too much, man. I got. Let me see. Shit got old. I let you talk shit for a long, long time. Uh, when I see the other one, I'm gonna send the other one packing too. Kansas Owens, that's dope. uh, I appreciate that, Myers. I appreciate that. Christ is King. There we go. There's the other one. You know what? That's not bad though, man. For being this late and on a vertical live and on here and only having two trolls, that's pretty damn good. Cheaper to cut the grass at night, huh? I believe that. GS, I'm going to my little homie. I hear you, Malicious King. You have a good night, man. Can you speak on the car situation, Elk Grove? Um, no, I don't really know anything about the car situation. Do you like the rapper BFD? Uh, he's a good rapper. I hear you. I have a big family, a great career, financially stable, fit too. Things are going great. But it helps my mental health to hear truth in a deep perspective. We connect with past pain and common. Shared struggle, my guy. That's real. Valley High. Uh, 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 Jose Gambino. That's an interesting perspective. Uh, oh, what part of Sacramento did it happen in? Rancho Cordova. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was back in '95. Rancho Cordova. Um, More fires. Ground zero for the best tacos you never had. I think the Jack Murals in Oakland. Um, let's see. All they had to get some tacos on. Packville, AT&T Park, Candlestick, Oracle, Black Coal, A Stadium. We in the past, don't yeah, for reals. Uh, Appreciate that, Zia. Shout out to Song Home. Thank you, William Paris. The Mexican G. What's going on, man? It's been a while. Uh, oh, all those clubs gone gas mask? That's a trip. Yeah, that used to be the shit, though. Not the Tropicana. Carlitos got stories about the Tropicana when he was a kid. Um, Wild 94.9. uh, hey, Emmett Smith was dope. Emmett Smith was dope. On the east side, I stayed right down the street from this small club. It was always biceps. That's it. No, I'm just tired, bro. Psycho world. No, I rarely smoke. Rarely smoke trees. And if I did, I wouldn't come on YouTube. I have on YouTube. Uh, Long time ago, but no, I hardly ever smoke. What's the story behind rolling with the Northerners? Good. I was a Northern. I was a gang member before I knew what gangs were. It's just how things played out. Uh, First time I was called a gang member was by a cop. Um, I just hung out with my friends and my people, and they liked some people and they didn't like other people, and I kind of went with the flow, and never crossed my mind to to roll any different, you know. Uh, you still awake, babe? You still awake, or you went to sleep and woke back up? You've been watching my live all this time? Not interesting enough? Huh? I say, you watching my live, babes? It's like, nope, not tonight. I'm sorry, but not sorry. uh, see, you 52 people find me entertaining. Uh, the first thing a spiritual person learns is we are all spiritually dead. Rituals, rites. Junior just texted me, go to sleep. Rituals, rites, purifications, and the like attempt to revive us, but it's only the Creator who gives life through Jesus. Amen to that. Let me see if Jun Jun's in the chat. Let me see. I don't even know what his YouTube handle is. What's up, Lucky Local? It probably is. I ain't even caught up to it yet. I don't know how far behind in the comments I am. Lucky Local, email me. That's what I'm watching. Email me and I can shoot you some child custody stuff. Antonio Diaz, that's facts. LA had a huge influence on San Jose before the North versus South stuff. I know. Let's see. Okay, June, I see you. I'm just way behind in the comments. You should be deported from this channel. Do you ever think about changing your style since you're out of that life? What do you mean? What's wrong with my style? County jail is painful. Yeah, I don't dress like I dressed when I was younger. I don't have a single pair of Dickies. Is that right? I don't know. I'll probably wind up getting myself in some financial trouble if I start playing online gambling. Oh, see, now the trolls are coming. Y'all ruin everything. Shit gets old. What up, Spanx? Good to see you, homie. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through here quick. Trying to catch up to the bottom. Shout out to Arizona. Love you too, Joe. I was talking about you earlier. Probably didn't hear me though. You gotta watch the replay. Let's see. Hella far behind, nothing new, brother. Yeah, I know. Josh ain't Bonnaroo out these days. I'm not. And you know what? When people shine their shoes out here, they don't put fire to it. I learned how to shine shoes in prison, and I thought that shit was normal. Uh, yeah, that's still a good number, Lucky Loco. But I'm gonna shut this off and go to bed, man. And I kind of want a Ben Davis jacket. Yeah, I got derbies though. Hey, gracias, Spanx. I got another one coming, bro, next week. It gets even worse. It gets even worse. Motherfuckers be coming on here lying about everything. Oh my god. Like if you're a rat or a weirdo or you went to funny yards, why would you go on these platforms and say the shit that you say, thinking that nobody's gonna catch you? It's my new slogan. You out here looking for attention? Don't get mad when I pay attention. That's how it goes. All right, Pantera, Lucky Loco. Salute, man. Help others move with excellence. That's what homies do. Help yourself at the same time because you worked it. Help your community because they need you. Stay tuned for tomorrow. I got a video on why I took the video about my brother off the channel. And I'll explain that tomorrow. But there we go. I said I'd give you guys an hour. I give you 2.5. That's love right there. You guys have a good night, man. Take care.